All right, we are on to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. This is episode 76, and this episode is called Defeat These Terrifying Enemies. Krillin's Fighting Spirit returns. Now, we have a very solid episode here. I actually was pretty surprised. All around, just a very enjoyable episode. There is a lot of good fighting and good character moments regarding Krillin. Now, I will say, the animation is a little wonky here, just in regards more so, I'm not really too, butt mad about, the way the movements are, it's not like episode 5 or anything. It's just, some of the character designs of these villains, they're drawn very, I don't know how to say, in a very odd manner. A lot of the characters are very ill-proportioned. I noticed Super Boo in particular looked very, very weird for most of his time on screen. It's almost as though in a lot of these scenes, they focused on one character. Like, let's say in a scene, Goku is talking, and he is drawn quite well, but a lot of the surrounding characters around him are just, it's as though they're just not proportioned correctly. It's very, very odd. I've noticed this a bit throughout Dragon Ball Super, but it's never been as bad as it is here. So, the episode opens up where the last episode ended with, all of the villains of the past being here. We got Nappa, Vegeta, Frieza, the Ginyu Force, Perfect Cell, Super Boo, Deborah, Tambourine. Just a whole cast of enemies that they previously had fought. And I thought so, but it does happen right at the beginning of this episode where you see Krillin has a couple of flashbacks. You see the scene where he's killed by Tambourine. You see footage from Dragon Ball Kai where Krillin is killed by Frieza. You see footage from Kai where Krillin is turned into chocolate and eaten by Super Boo. And you also see some Kai footage of Krillin being turned into stone by Deborah. Now, Krillin spends a lot of time running around here while Goku is kind of pretty effortlessly fighting these shadows or these spirits or memories, as we find out that they are. Goku is fighting pretty seamlessly, and Krillin just can't control his fear. Now, I really hate this, only because they already did this during the Resurrection F arc, which was really annoying when they did it back then, where Krillin was scared of just Frieza's minions. It was so just drawn out and pathetic, where they had to have Master fucking Roshi of all people scream, "Krillin, you fought Cell and Frieza and all these guys. Frieza soldiers are nothing to you." And then Krillin's like, "Oh yeah, I'm 25 million times stronger than Frieza soldiers." And now here we are backtracking with Krillin being scared again. I mean, it makes more sense here. I just would like this a lot better if it hadn't already been done in Dragon Ball Super. Now, we see a quick scene of Master Roshi and Baba watching the events unfold on her crystal ball, and Android 18 and Marin show up and they watch on the crystal ball as well. Now, we see Krillin and Goku, they're still fighting these spirits or whatever, and Krillin asks Goku, these are guys who have beaten both of us multiple times. How can you be so excited? And, Goku is just kind of like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And it is cool because you do see a Bulma actually shows up. It's the Resurrection F Bulma. And the animators did a job here of making sure to draw Bulma with the giant tits. She's drawn like that a couple times in Resurrection F because she has just that white shirt on. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly. But so even this Bulma shows up in evil spirit form, getting ready to pound Krillin because, it would make sense that, all of these things, they're appearing from Goku and Krillin's memories. And, Krillin being scared of these guys is, amplifying them. So, of course, all the times, Bulma basically abused Krillin throughout the series, it's not surprising that, evil Bulma would show up out of nowhere. Now, Goku and Krillin, they blast them away with a double Kamehameha, but they then try and fly away. Well, mainly Krillin is basically flying away in fear. He's like, "Fuck this. I don't want to get this herb anymore." And Goku chases after him. And what happens is the branches of the forest kind of come alive and block Goku and Krillin in, and all of the enemies kind of resurrect. At this point, Goku goes Super Saiyan and starts dominating them, and Krillin kind of gets knocked away by Tambourine and eventually gets really far away from Goku. Now, Goku eventually goes Super Saiyan 3 to continue battling these memories that are getting more and more powerful when Goku realizes that they are feeding off of his energy. So he powers down to base form, kind of relaxes himself, does a meditation, and the spirits disappear. And he hears Krillin yell out, and he's like, okay, shit, well, I gotta go help Krillin, but I can't fly right now because expending that energy will cause the memory monsters to show up again. So, what does he do? He calls Kintoon, the flying fucking Nimbus. Round of applause. Is this the first time we've seen flying Nimbus since Gohan went to high school? I believe it is, right? That was the last time we saw it, was when Gohan went to high school. Well, flying Nimbus is back, and Goku even remarks, oh, I've missed this feeling, and he flies off to go help Krillin. Krillin is battling a memory version of Nappa, and he uses a couple of attacks on this, memory version of Nappa that are ineffective, such as the solar flare. I was surprised to see him bust that out, but it makes sense. I bet Krillin is probably the character who has used the Teoken, aka solar flare, the most throughout the show. Because we see Tien uses it a couple times, Goku uses it, we obviously see Cell use it, and Krillin as well. After using the Destructo Disc to cut the Nappa in half, Krillin realizes what's going on and sort of does a similar thing to what Goku does, although Krillin appears to, I don't know, it's almost like Krillin is doing like the same sort of Super Saiyan Blue training that Goku and Vegeta did, because he kind of like perfectly measures his ki so that he's kind of able to control it in a proper way to where he's able to actually fight these spirits without really triggering them, if that makes sense. While Goku is rushing off to go help Krillin, Super Shenron actually appears. Now, it is a bit odd that Super Shenron, of all people, would show up, because this isn't really... Obviously, Shenron is a neutral character, not really a villain. Both Goku and Krillin were there to see it, so I guess it makes sense that it would be in both of their memories, but why exactly they put Super Shenron in here, I don't know. I mean, it does look super cool. Obviously, I like seeing it. So, I mean, I guess maybe the animators, they just wanted to draw it or something. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. So what happens is Super Shenron kind of grabs Goku and traps him. And Krillin shows up and he's like, Goku, what are you doing? And Goku says that he could fuck Super Shenron up, but if he goes full power, he'll end up destroying the flying Nimbus too, which is kind of caught in the little Super Shenron like tail, the same vice that Goku's trapped in. And that does make sense, because if you guys remember, Tambourine had a sufficient power level to destroy a flying Nimbus. So obviously Super Saiyan Blue Goku would be able to destroy it by powering up. If you guys remember way back we're talking real early in Dragon Ball, I believe it's Commander Silver uses a rocket launcher then shoots at Goku while he's flying on the flying Nimbus, and Goku thinks that flying Nimbus is destroyed, but he actually finds out later that that was not enough. So a rocket launcher is not good enough to destroy the flying Nimbus, although again, this is why me and a lot of other people have complained about the power scaling in Dragon Ball Super, because, so what you're telling me is a rocket launcher is not good enough to destroy the flying Nimbus, yet a regular bullet is enough to fuck Krillin up, or just a regular little laser gun is enough to destroy Super Saiyan Blue Goku, basically? Very, very odd. Krillin activates his little powered up state again, where he's got his nice ki control going on, and he's able to knock Goku free. At this point, Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, and they do the, the old friends Kamehameha. Not the father-son Kamehameha, not the father-son Gallic Gun, but we've got like the old best friend Kamehameha combo, and they destroy Super Shenron, and it kind of breaks apart into like these, kind of like white lights, these white pieces of light. Looks very similar to what rained back down on the Earth after the Tree of Might was destroyed in the Tree of Might movie and all of the nutrients came back down. Kind of very similar to that. And it turns into the herb that Krillin and Goku are looking for. So they gather that up and then they return to Master Roshi's. Now on the way flying back, Krillin kind of has gained his resolve. and decides that he wants to become a strong martial artist again, like Goku, and he says it's more for Marin's sake. And he has a good little speech here. And again, because Toei Animation, they can't get through one episode without personally trolling me. Goku sitting on the flying Nimbus goes, I don't get what you're talking about at all. And it's like, ugh, you know, that worked back when Goku was a kid in Dragon Ball, but he is an adult now. I refuse to believe Goku's that stupid. He's not as stupid as they're making him. It hurts my heart. So Goku and Krillin arrive back at Master Roshi's house, and I love this because Android 18 and Marin and Roshi and Baba, they were watching on the crystal ball the whole time. So, you know, Android 18 and Marin, they saw how Krillin gained his fighting resolve, his fighting spirit, and, you know, really helped out and was really brave and heroic. And 18 walks up and she pats Krillin on the head. And at first I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks, wife, for patting me on the head like I'm a fucking child. But then she grabs Krillin and brings him into those big-ass titties of hers. And I was like, oh, okay, 18, I see you there. I see what you're going to be doing to Krillin tonight for not being such a spineless weakling like you called him in the last episode anymore. Now, it's basically revealed that trick Roshi was going to teach them was bullshit, as I figured. Obviously, that's too good to be true. But a little interesting detail does happen here. Roshi eats these herbs and says, aha, now I'll be able to live another 1,000 years. And it's like, oh, okay, so I guess this could be the thing that allows Roshi to live. Because Roshi, he's not immortal. He can die. But it does kind of seem like he won't die out from natural causes. Like, he's not going to die from old age. It seems like for Roshi to die, he would have to be killed in some sort of manner, or use some sort of really, really taxing techniques, such as the Mafuba, like when he died in the King Piccolo arc. And, you know, him eating these herbs and saying he'll be able to live another 1,000 years, maybe this was the secret to that all along. Remember, Turtle at one point talked about Master Roshi. I believe in the English dub, he said the Fountain of Youth. And I think in the Japanese subbed version, he says an immortality elixir. So I guess this could possibly be that. Then in the last scene before the episode ends, we see Android 18 actually shaves Krillin's head, and Goku shows up to do some more sparring with him. So all in all, I'd say it was an enjoyable episode. I didn't like that they walked it back with Krillin being, you know, so scared again, because Krillin, I mean, he's been in the shit so much. And he's tried his best to be heroic, but they just really hardcore want to make him look like a bitch. Very sad, but at least he regained his fighting spirit by the end of the episode, and hopefully moving on to the Universal Survival arc, Krillin will be a stalwart for the team. I guess we can all hope so. All in all, solid episode. Decent fighting. But now, this is the last for the filler / slice of life. Next week, the Universal Survival arc begins.